σου πω μια ιστορία, παιδί μου, που αρχίζει σε μια εποχή πριν γνωρίσουμε τη χάρη της Αθηνάς. Αθηνά, θεωμένους και αραστάς γενομένους αυτής.
So, is it good?
I think we have something. With these 3 documents, we can prove the Parthenon marbles were stolen and illegally traded artifacts, and currently remain as falsely possessed property within the British Museum.
Θα βρω καθάψιος για να set the blood in your nostrils.
I'd say it's about time that someone took a stand for true justice.
Does the British Museum have any intention of ever returning the Parthenon marbles to Greece with lawful title?
No. The only way the marbles will be loaned to the Acropolis Museum is if the Greek government agrees that the marbles are and will always be the property of the British Museum.
Mr. Orestes...
This court needs to take that shit now.
Sir, you will address the members of this court in a manner which reflects the sacred charge which it defends.
Υπάρχει ακόμα μια πιθανότητα για έφεση.
Είναι αργά για τέτοια. Είναι περισπασμός και σπατάλη χρόνου και χρήματος.
The truth which you fail to understand is that no ancestors are going to wake up this generation.
Ένας δικηγόρος που θέλει να κάνει καλό μέσα στην κρίση.
Pedro, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry for me.
Someone needs to stand up for Greece, make the case for her, like the one who fights in the first line.
Thousands of years ago, the people of Greece nominated Athena as their representative to the world.
We chose a woman, Athena, because as men, we can love her. We can sacrifice for her to prove our love. We can stand with her in the first line of defense, so that justice may have its day.
Έχουμε καμιά πιθανότητα να κερδίσουμε?
Όχι. Αλλά θα το προσπαθήσουμε έτσι κι αλλιώς. Θα βάλουμε τα δυνατά μας. Σε αυτές τις πέτρες είναι γραμμένη η λύτρωσή μας.
And we're very happy to have with us in the spotlight Pantelis Kodogiannis, who is the leading actor in the fantastic Greek film PROMAKHOS, The First Line. For those of you who have not had the opportunity to see it, you are missing out. It is an amazing film. Panteli, welcome to New York.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, and we're big fans of your whole team. You guys did an amazing job with this movie. You are the leading actor in PROMAKHOS, and you gave a very powerful performance. It was a lot of history and burden to carry in this role.
Absolutely, yes. It's a very serious film, and it's a lot of historical fact, and it's heavy. I think it's a bittersweet film watching it, especially for any viewer of Greek descent. You know, the issue of the Parthenon marbles and their being in the British Museum, and in 2016 it'll be the 200th anniversary of their placement there.
Good timing.
Yeah, it's a very you know, it's something that tugs at our heart. For sure.
And we don't have the writers and the directors here with us, but you are representing the cast and the team, and I want you to tell us a little bit about them and what the inspiration was behind these Greek-Americans, Greek-American Dutch directors and writers, as you called them earlier, the Greek Coen brothers, because it's first-time directors and writers.
First-time directors and writers. They had done of a feature film, right? This is their first feature film. And it's an independent film, and it's incredible because they're young and they are optimists
and talented
and very talented, absolutely, and they complement each other very well. You know, one of them is the
Cordy and John,
yeah.
Voorhis.
So Cordy is the visionary. You know, he is the one that thinks cinematically, if you will, and John is the technician. He tries to find a way to get that vision to work and how to stage it. So it's they complement each other. They're very yin and yang.
We're going to give the audience a little background on them. Their backstory is that they're Greek-American Dutch, born and raised in Colorado.
Born and raised in Colorado. Their mother is Greek-American, and their father, it's a Dutch name, but the father is, I guess, half Dutch and half English himself. So they're also part English.
And so these two boys, growing up in Boulder, Colorado, came up with this fabulous script on how to save the marbles, a great story. And I guess my first question, and you know, I'm inclined to ask you, how much truth is in this script?
Most of the script is accurate, and the veracity is spot on, because this is based on, Cordy had done a big research project during his undergraduate studies at Georgetown University on this issue, and his father
on the Elgin marbles.
On the Parthenon marbles.
Right. Is his background film, by the way?
He is currently finishing up his graduate degree at USC Film School. So he is one of the first filmmakers to ever shoot a feature film, a complete feature film, being a student in the graduate program at SC without having finished school yet.
That's very impressive.
It's a first.
Very impressive.
Absolutely. And John, his brother, is an undergraduate of, he went undergraduate to Brown University, and also has his MBA from Stanford. So these are pretty intelligent,
powerful boys. Yes.
Yeah, pretty intelligent guys.
Yeah, we're very excited to have them also on our set one day. But
absolutely, the research, though, to get back to your question, is spot on true. Only one part of the scenario we took some kind of artistic and fictional license with, but
which part of that?
The mektub. So we in the film we essentially used 3 documents to show that these sculptures, the whole collection, and what Lord Elgin took from the Parthenon, the Acropolis, were taken under what I would say nefarious means. So we refer to something called the Hunt Letter and the English translation of the Hunt Letter, and those are real documents, and they can easily be looked up by anyone on Google.
Those documents do exist, but the last document...
The last document that we show is a document that has been referred to by many people historically, but has never been found. And that is called the mektub. Some other people call it a firman, but the two are very different. And no one has... Some people believe that it exists, has been found, and has been tucked away for various reasons. Other people think it was destroyed.
For those reasons?
For those reasons. So it's definitely a big question mark.
I mean, there's been looting of ancient antiquities throughout time.
Even today, right?
Yes.
There's looting is happening right now in Syria.
The Persian Empire.
Right, absolutely. So
history is being destroyed as we speak.
As we speak, absolutely.
Do you believe that the topic of this movie will ignite the viewer to get more involved in finding out information about the Elgin marbles and where the rightful home is, and perhaps ignite a movement for these marbles to come back?
I certainly would hope so. I think it's time. One of my desires is to see this collection return to Athens. I think it would mean a lot to the Greek people, and would help really re-inspire what the Parthenon and the Acropolis means. I mean, you've lived in Athens and I've lived in Athens. You see it every day, and I think sometimes we forget about its significance.
One of the other things that the film has captured is the teachings of the forefathers that were put on these reliefs, that reignited the Hellenic spirit or kept the Hellenic spirit alive by teaching something. They had a story, and perhaps this film is, again, reigniting, κάνει αφύπνιση, όπως λένε στα ελληνικά, αφύπνιση to the viewer of the Hellenic spirit.
Right, and the message is what's probably the most important thing, and we actually touch upon that in the first line. You know, we say that the beauty of the Parthenon is not its architecture and its symmetry, but its message. And right now, the message is fragmented because all of the sculpture, the metapiece, the frieze, they all told a story, kind of like an ancient film. And right now, all you're seeing is chopped up fragments. So you're seeing half of that message in the British Museum, the other half in Athens, not in sequential order. So imagine if all of that came together, what we could learn from that and what we'd be able to finally see for the first time.
The production was very impressive because you filmed during a time of social unrest, a revolutionary time, during riots. I'm curious to find out how easy was it to film during these riots and what was your experience throughout filming?
So the interesting thing that we did in the film is the film takes place in 2011, the fall of 2011, early winter, and through February, March 2012. And as you said, that was a time of large social unrest and turmoil in Athens, which was the result of the debt crisis.
People were revolting.
People were angry.
They wanted to voice
They
their
wanted
opinions.
to voice their concerns. They
Right.
were frustrated. And you know, they had been living under the first round or the second round of austerity measures, which were very hard to swallow. So what we decided to do was to take that and use it as an opportunity to make a parallelism of what the ancient Athenians, the battles, if you will, the machas or the agones of today's Athenians. And what we did was we juxtaposed it or made a parallelism to the actual story on the Parthenon.
What are some of the challenges that you guys faced during this film? What are some of the hurdles that you had to overcome?
We shot during real riots in 2013, and all of the footage that you see of me and the leading actress in the film, Cassandra Voyadzis,
Which was fabulous.
walking through, that is real coverage of us actually walking through real riots, not staged. Only one small scene was staged that I think will be pretty obvious to people after they see the film.
Right.
So
it was very courageous of you and the whole crew to film during these riots. Congratulations. It must have been a very difficult task.
So that first day, and this coverage is as soon as the film opens, I am walking with a briefcase. I play a lawyer and I'm in a suit. And I'm walking along and there's a student protest. And there are people following me and they hear students talking to one another about me, thinking I'm a politician. And someone said, like, let's throw stuff at him to knock him out. And
you were dressed in your role and they thought that you were
I was a politician who they were very frustrated against.
Right.
And someone on our team heard them and said, actually, we're filming a film.
Mm-hmm.
And told them all about the story. And then we invited those students to come to the riot footage that we did stage.
Wow, that's
and
amazing.
They were amazed that they were
Amazing.
in a film.
Yeah.
So that was a great thing that happened.
You had a wonderful cast in this film. Prominent actors, Giancarlo Giannini, Yorgos Voyadzis, Cassandra Voyadzis, and the list goes on. You had a lot of great support during this film. And it was your first leading role as an attorney. Tell us a little bit about that experience as an actor and how it was playing across these wonderful, experienced actors.
Well, I have to tell you that I am a licensed attorney.
Oh!
I went to
We
law
just thought
school.
you were an actor!
Right, so...
we didn't get to your background yet.
Right, so what the
So you
interesting though was,
studied-
I studied law and I worked on Wall Street for 7 years doing M&A work and decided that I wanted to become an actor, and I moved to LA and did this. So, you know, it was a big about face, but something that I always wanted to do in my life. And just being in a film with all of these actors with so many credits, it was very nerve-wracking and overwhelming. And the first day on the set with Giancarlo, we're at the Acropolis Museum, so this is the first film to ever be allowed to be filmed in the Acropolis Museum.
That was my next question, is how did you get the rights to film?
Right, and I have a great story for you there too, but so right before he's putting on makeup and we're kind of in the back, they're setting up, and he said to me, so, I hear you're a lawyer. And I said, okay, here we go. And he said, I think that's great. You know, before I became an actor, I was an engineer, and I hold 2 patents in Italy.
Wow.
So I said, okay, you know, and he said, that's great. You should do so many different things in your life. And I thought he was gonna give me a bit of flack for it. But it was a dream role for me and a dream come true on a personal level, because I'm a Greek-American kid from upstate New York.
And where are your parents from?
Chios.
First generation?
First generation.
Okay.
And I shoot my first feature film as a lead at the Parthenon and at the Acropolis Museum and the Kalimarmaro.
It's an amazing dream come true.
Opposite this incredible cast.
What were some of the challenges that you faced during this film? What were some of the hurdles you had to overcome?
Well, I faced a few personal challenges. So we had this was a very tight filming schedule. I was on set every day. So for roughly 60 plus days of filming, I had 1.5 days off. Mm-hmm. And it was morning till night, all hours. Some of our locations we can only get at certain fixed points in time. So we had a couple of days of very bad weather. You know, I will also tell you, there's a couple scenes of me going into the water. Those are real. That happened in December.
Okay.
The water was not warm.
I can imagine.
The water was not warm. You know.
You didn't get sick though. You were
I
good.
Well, I did, but you know, the riot shooting, it was very tense and stressful. We didn't know what was going to happen.
That's what I was going to say.
It was late night footage.
The challenges must have been timing, waiting for the riots, waiting for this, but you had a great production team.
We did. We had a wonderful production team.
The Greeks are great to work with. They're very talented.
Very talented.
We can attest to that. The Greeks are very, very talented.
And our crew in London as well that had Greek connections.
Yes.
They were superb. Obviously, this film could not have been done without them.
London
you know.
and New York, very few
London,
scenes in
New York
right?
Had fewer scenes, especially New York. Most of it was shot in Athens, some Kavala, Aegina, but mostly around Athens. I mean, Athens is a character in this film.
Yeah. Pantelis, thank you so much for joining us here on In the Spotlight. We're so proud of you guys. You did such an amazing job. What is your message to our viewers? And what's next for Pantelis?
What is next? I would love to shoot in Greece again. The light is amazing, and the Greek landscape is always very, very inspirational. The light is the Greek light.
Well, Elas means people of the light.
Of the light, exactly. And Ithopyos also means light. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
It's not.
I have a
you're not going to go back to law, are you? After this, you might.
No.
I was going to suggest to go get the marbles. Join Amal and her group.
Yeah, I have a couple of things in the works, and be in a play in the spring in LA, and some movie projects coming up. So looking forward to it. But I'm looking forward to working in Greece again, and finding the right project to do that with, because there are a lot of stories in Greece that haven't been told yet, and we have a lot of work to do.
Well, we're going to be following you. Congratulations to you and the cast and the whole team of PROMAKHOS. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
PROMAKHOS, the first line, a must-see.